All right, we're broadcasting.
Industrial wastelands of Michigan to the fruited plains of Iowa. This is the American Greed Factory.
Why will they do it? Sheer perversity.
You are the dead. Remain exactly where you are. Make no move until you are ordered.
We burn them to ashes and then burn the ashes. That's our official motto.
Now we can see you. Clasp your hands behind your heads. Stand out in the middle of the floor. Stand back to back.
Who can explain the fascination of fire? What draws us to it, whether we're young or old?
Here comes a candle to light you to bed. Here comes a chopper to chop off your head.
And welcome to the American Greed Factory podcast. This is Nathan.
This is Conlon.
And Mark. Who's the fourth? Andrew?
Everyone talked.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Me and Mark are trying to top each other, but we got it.
Well, I kind of cut it, started a little too soon. But anyway, it's the original team's back now. Regular people.
Fantastic Four.
No, I never thought of it. No. Fantastic cast.
Well, no one wants to think about the Fantastic Four anymore.
It's sad. Like how many bites at the apple did they get to get that right? And it's like, wow.
Technically 4.
It's crazy. It's like
they had that one that they got what's that guy? Roger Corman made for like $4 million just so the guy could keep the rights to keep making movies.
It's amazing that those kind of stories.
And then they made
on purpose.
Yeah.
Retain right.
And then they made that one, and then they made the Silver Surfer one, which I heard people say that one was really good, but I never saw it, so apparently nobody else did.
So, I haven't even seen the newest one, and I kind of should have because I think it was like $1 or whatever for 5 nights. I was like, maybe. Like,
I think it's on HBO, and I was like, nope.
Scroll right past that.
This is a button that says click on, I'll pay you $20 to watch me, and then just leave it play in the background.
I've been like, as I grow up and I don't have much time to waste, or at least I choose the things to waste my time on, and because I've seen only so many fucking movies, know how they work, I fast forward watch movies where I just fast forward through it until I get to a point where it's like, all right, that's what I expect. That's what I expect. Here's something new. Rewind. Watch that scene. It's like, that was pretty cool. All right, fast forward. Read the trivia. I've seen the movie. It's basically like everybody pretends they saw Godfather when they haven't actually seen Godfather.
I still haven't seen Godfather yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know.
See, Andrew's twin does that too. He fast through movies. Andrew finds it very annoying.
Well, it's like you're saying, like, I won't spend time to watch a movie, but then like I'll end up watching like an entire season on Netflix. It's like, yeah, that was worth my time.
I've been there.
But because they don't have the commercials, like it kind of is like, well, that was only like, instead of like you wasted half hours, like now you wasted 21 minutes because then you're skipping past the credits. So that's even like a minute off the time of the show time. So it's now it's like you can spend 4 hours and watch an entire season of like a half-hour comedy.
Yeah, that's true. I've been trying to watch Stranger Things. I'm halfway through episode 2, but for some reason my Netflix keeps kicking out. So,
like, it won't let you play, or does it say something like some weird sign-in issue?
No, it's there's something going on with the with my Roku stick. I think it's just it's a problem on my end, not the other end. So I'm gonna do that to TV because I don't want to hook up multiple devices to that account. Fraud. There we go. Cat away.
Hey, usually the cat doesn't show up till the podcast is almost over, so today. That looks pretty interesting. Nice 80s piece.
Yeah, you should watch it.
My wife really liked
an homage to Spielberg.
Yeah, pretty much an homage to Spielberg.
Who are the Duffer Brothers?
No idea. I looked up their stuff and they said they were writers on the Wayward Pine show, which was like some weird mysterious show on Fox.
Yeah,
I think it was eventually about werewolves or some shit. I don't know.
No, it's the last place in the I don't want to. There's a big reveal about what it is. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I read the book. I watched the first 2 episodes and lost interest. So. But yeah, this looks kind of interesting. Like, if I could get more access to it. But it's kind of weird how they make the 80s like the 40s though, because everyone smokes and drinks constantly. And, wow, they're really going for. They're blending many eras here.
Yeah, it's pretty much like E.T. meets Firestarter, meets Goonies, meets the X-Files, little Alien and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm only halfway through episode 2. I'll try to catch up. I'll do some more watching tomorrow.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch more because here it's been like, I'm sure it's there too, because you have worse summers than us. It's 100,000 degrees here.
I'm wearing a coat every day, so
Yeah, that's right. You're in the cold food section.
I'm in a freezer. And
I
everyone
am
looks.
not, and neither is Mark.
I'm in the oven.
Well, we can switch places. I'm in the cooler. He's in the freezer. You guys are in the. Works out real well.
I get weird works walking into work where it's like, hey, it's 98 outside. Why are you wearing a black Carhartt? It's like, because I work at a freezer.
Could you work in there without a coat just to see what would happen?
Yeah, no, I've done it before. It's just been like, I'd be in there like only for so long, and then I'd grab as much as I could throw in a cart, and then I'd run it. But now I'm like, now I have it more organized, and I have to do things. So like sometimes might be in there for like 2 hours. So it's like, and then also like I'm literally moving a ton of ice, and I don't wear gloves when I move the ice. I know it seems counterintuitive, but if I move ice with my gloves, the gloves will get wet, and then I'll have to spend days in the freezer with wet gloves. So I just move the ice with my hands.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you guys doing the our grocery store started doing this thing where you order all your stuff online and somebody prepares it.
Yeah.
Shuttles it out to you. Yeah, that's
we
mitigated disaster over here.
I was expecting to be a colossal fuck up, but like it was like this is the first weekend they're running it, and like there didn't seem to be a whole lot going on there, so maybe just people haven't caught on yet.
I didn't even know Hy-Vee in our area was doing it until I saw their job posting for online shopping or whatever. It's like, oh, that must be kind of a fun job. Run around, shop for other people, and just put it in a fucking.
I'm just glad people aren't buying like a fuck ton of frozen stuff. Because it's like, oh shit, I gotta find this thing that says we have, but we don't.
Yeah, where do you guys even keep your orders? Waiting for it to be picked up, like customer service or what?
No, it's like they sectioned off whole side of they took over a freezer and a cooler, and then just like a whole bin section. They took that away from groceries, so it's all for that now. We got about like a 50-foot section, 2 freezers, and a whole room devoted just to this.
Oh shit!
Is there a premium attached to that?
No, it's free.
Okay.
I think if you do it, like they give you like free bags and shit or something like that, like those reusable shopping bags.
Oh, okay.
Because now they want that, because like if you walk into a Walmart now, like they have shit set up was like, hey, try our online shop, and I'm like, don't advertise that.
They're really pushing it. It's right there at the front door. Try this.
Damn.
Well, they used to. I mean, they've had something like similar before, where it's like always where you could order something online, you pick it up at the store.
Yeah, but usually like electronics and furniture and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So it was been that, and even sometimes that meant like that store didn't have it, and they had to mail it to that store, and then you pick it up. Here's it's like, all our inventory is now online. Pick it from our inventory, buy it, and then pick it up at the store. It's never been that before. Our inventory hasn't been like publicly available before, I don't think.
Huh.
I wonder how this like helps or hurts competition. I wonder if they're just like, well, let's just go on Walmart and like see what the price is and like undercut them or something. Because we used to have people.
Well, Amazon, they'll practically send all your like soap and laundry detergent and all that stuff in a constant loop. So
Yeah,
because you get money off, and a lot of times they give you coupons right away off it too. So,
but like this thing, it's like usually we have like you see people from other stores like come in just to like look around at prices. They have people do that, and all we do is like hey, you got the Sunday paper? It's like, all right, we'll price match that. It's like we don't got to go check prices or anything. We'll just price match anything that comes in that comes in the paper or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's all. It's all weighted.
I've never heard of that shit. I've never.
Yeah, it's becoming more. Well, I mean, look, our Kroger, those U-Scan thing.
Right.
Like they had 4 of those, then they had 8. Now they got 15.
Oh shit.
And they're basically, my thing with that is like, are you paying me to be an employee? Why am I scanning them? Because
scanning your own bag.
Well, when they first started that, and then after 10 o'clock, that's all they'd have open.
Right.
Oh, that was a feast for me. It's like, well, I'm only ringing up half the shit in this basket. I'm walking out. I'd come home and say, Jesus, Nathan, you only spent $35. You got 2 carts full of food. It's like, yeah, I know, it was a hell of a bargain. But they've gotten smarter since then. It used to be it was a free for all. I just think, how much is this? $45? Yeah, let's scan some chiclets.
Yeah, that's exactly what when I worked at Kmart and they had their first electronic registers, people would just tear the UPCs off something like a Rubbermaid tote that was like 99 cents and stick it on like a $200 TV and walk out the door with it for $1. Watching it. Yeah, it took them a couple of months, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're losing a bunch of inventory. We're not getting any money out of it." I wonder what the fuck could be causing that. Huh?
But now with this, they're just like cutting out the middle. Pretty soon, a grocery store won't be a place you go in. Sit out in the car in your parking lot, and type things in. There'll be dudes running around or machines running around, grabbing groceries and just bringing them out to you. Because if you don't have to make it look nice, it's just a warehouse.
Yeah, but take it from me and Conlon, because we both work in the same regulated conditions. It's not going to be just shit everywhere, just piled on the floor and spilled all over. Like at work, if something spills, if I have a pallet full of cheese and milk and shit, if something falls off and gets busted open or even dents big enough, I can't even just put it in a trash can and go about my business. I have to go mop it up, write it down, clean out the trash can, put it in a dumpster, because I can't leave any trace of any food anywhere on the actual warehouse floor.
Yeah,
it has to be gone.
Yeah, you kill a bunch of people with food poisoning if you get contaminated. It's not like my business where it's a bunch of parts.
Well, it's actually not so much that. I can dump a whole box of tomatoes on the ground, and as long as they're not smushed, I just put them back in the box and ship them, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's why it says wash the tomatoes.
Oh yeah. Believe me, I always knew you washed food, especially picked vegetables, because I didn't see any porta potties out there where those guys. So I'm pretty sure I better wash the hell out of that.
Touche.
That's why the banana is the perfect fruit. It has nature's own condom on it.
Nature's own condom. I like that. Yep. So always wash your fruit and vegetables. And meat and everything else.
Just wash it. Just put it all in the wash.
Washing machine.
Why do you have 3 wash machines? Well, one's for meat, one's for vegetables, one's for laundry.
You don't?
Are you a madman? You ever cut open a head of lettuce?
Maybe this is a thing in other states, but do you guys have liquor stores in your area that do serve food like fried chicken and barbecue and stuff like that?
Yeah, it makes it seem less like a desperate, lonely place where people go. It's because you're an alcoholic, degenerate gambler. We also have pizza and chicken and
potato wedges.
Now, usually there's some angry, swarthy, either Eastern European or someone from the Middle East there to help you. It's like, what do you want? How about some of that liquor? Allah forbids this. $5. Oh, yeah.
It'd be funny if they put a sticker on the bottle with Muhammad frowning or something.
Well, that's
well, that'd be triple illegal. Picture of Muhammad. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm like, oh yeah, you can't do that.
On fire and itself.
It's not like us where we slap Jesus on everything and call it sanctified. So yeah. No, I just wanted to know if that was a thing around your area, because I always every week somebody ships 80 cases like chicken gizzards and everything else to like this liquor store in Illinois. We're like, who the fuck eats this much chicken in a liquor store? Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, they're diversifying. Well, in Michigan,
It's probably some law, right? It's probably some law they need to have like some sort of food content per alcohol content.
probably. I don't know. Well, in Michigan, there's a liquor store. If I walked out of my house and threw a rock hard enough, I could hit a liquor store. There's like a liquor. When I came here from Indiana, it's like liquor stores were closed on Sunday. They didn't serve certain things. And here it's like, and you only had so many per town. Here it's like there's a liquor. Why is there a liquor store in the middle of this playground? What the fuck? There's a liquor store over here.
Every CVS, there's a fucking liquor store next to it.
Everything's got a liquor store here. Or they're serving hard liquor in the. You know where I buy most of my booze is at the grocery store.
Yep.
Because they have not just some booze, every imaginable. You want a $500 bottle of rum? Yes, sir. We have that in the grocery store.
Well, yeah, but like Iowa and Michigan's different. Like apparently, from talking to some of my friends in Illinois, you can't buy alcohol.
Every state is different with their alcohol. Some of those was it Pennsylvania. Well, a lot of them but I think it's Pennsylvania. Don't they have C stores where it's like government run alcohol? It's like it's a government run store where you get your alcohol.
Yep. Because I remember we went somewhere in Pennsylvania when I was on a motorcycle ride. Now, I didn't want to carry, glass bottles in my saddlebags. I was like, well, you gotta get some Jack Daniels or whatever. And they're like, yeah, good luck. It's like, what do you mean? It's 6 o'clock on a Friday. It's like, oh, the state stores are closed. Like, what's a state store? What are you talking about? So where's the liquor store? They got all kinds of rules and shit. And you can't. They've discontinued that though. I heard.
Oh, okay.
Privatized it now because they voted in a Republican. So
I was gonna say good because otherwise you knock over a liquor store in Pennsylvania robbing a government institution. That's gonna be a little bit more weighty.
And Utah, it's all sort of different sort of theater group for alcohol.
Well, they have to serve it behind a curtain and then hand it to you, or they call it the Zion curtain. I don't know. I've never been to Utah, so because nobody sins in Utah, like liquor, tobacco, caffeine. That's all out there because of the Mormons. But they download the most internet porn anywhere, and it's the grossest kind. It's like incest porn is number one in Utah. They had a map of the United States once. So who's downloading what here? Michigan is MILFs. That's like the number one kind of downloaded porn in Michigan. And then down south, it's like interracial, and then Florida is I don't know everything. Yeah.
Florida's probably granny
S&M.
Cheerleader gangbang. But Utah is like all incest. That's wildly appropriate. And also, I think pound for pound they consume more candy and chocolate than any other people in the country. Because you can't smoke or drink, so you just eat Werther's or whatever. Whatever Mormons do.
I don't do crack anymore, son. I suck on butterscotch candies. That's what keeps me clean.
Well, speaking of porn, I found some interesting porn. I'm not gonna reveal my research process.
Lisa, close your ears.
And how did you discover this?
I just go on a category list on Pornhub. What categories do they have? And it's called I think it's called described porn. I think it's for people who are blind. And then it's a video of like the porn, and then like somebody's like it's almost like they're reading from a book that's almost like an audio book, but they're just describing the things in the scene.
That sounds
It sounds like, why the fuck would anybody, even a blind person, why the fuck would you click on that?
Right? I could do this. That could be my new job. Porn describer. He bends her over the table.
No, Nathan, you gotta start off in gay audio porn and the newcomers.
It's doubtful. This is not the dream I came to California.
He started crying as the cock went towards his face.
Yeah.
The regret was palpable.
This is not the future I dreamed of on that.
Excuse me, Nathan, just read what's on the script.
Oh, man.
Oh, you're not supposed to read what's in the parentheses? Okay.
I mean, who's doing a voice? Like, I'm curious now.
Well, I mean,
Well,
voice
yeah, there's
acting.
two different. There's like different ones I looked at. One was like, you remember that? You remember that girl from like Teen Moms, and she did that porn. So it was like a clip from that, and it was like professionally produced, and it was like some woman was like, "I swear I've heard her read a book before. Like this is professional." And there was one. It was just some Chinese lady who was like filling in and like could ring English together, but not necessarily that well. So like there's like a whole different level of market like between professional and just like, well, let's just pay like 1,000 people to do this in China.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's got to be a preference though. Like you got to be able to say like, like if I'm gonna fucking beat off the Pornhub, I don't want to hear Nathan's voice in my ear. Fucking reading the dialogue to this porn.
Well, yeah, like that. It's all women who the clips I saw, which is two. It was all women reading it, so I imagine most of it's women.
It'd be weird if guys are reading it.
Yeah, because then you just imagine somebody being over your shoulder talking in your ear. While not porn.
Well, like I can't have like headphones in at work, so like I listen. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I listen to audiobooks at work, but like I'm not like when I'm in the back I'll listen to them, but I can't have headphones in, so I just like listen to it through my speaker. And like every time so far there hasn't been a sex scene that hopped up on one of my books, but I have to imagine like whoops.
Yeah, there's some Richard K. Morgan altered carbon when he's that woman's wife. Yeah, let that play.
Oh man,
I got some described porn here. This is the world's loudest orgasm. You ever heard this?
No.
That's the short version. There's a long version.
Oh shit. That's funny.
It is good.
Describe porn.
Describe. Now I'm gonna have to check this out.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, the rest of my weekend's planned.
Remember, Control Shift In will open up the incognito window.
Now you just tab over to private browser. But always remember to change the default back to Google, because for some reason in private mode, if you just shut it off after you're done whacking off or whatever, and somebody clicks on Safari to open the regular window, it comes right back up what you were watching. So that's a Mac needs to work on that.
What the fuck?
I was like, what the fuck is that? Like,
what was that?
I don't know. I thought it was Nathan doing a sound.
I'm trying to find the categories, but I have to go to a porn site to do it. And a ad popped up.
I think I would watch over my friend's shoulder while he browses the porn sites.
Someone's gonna describe it.
What's on the plate today?
Well, you got some cock stroking going on right now, the play-by-play, and then see if we got some.
All right. Yeah, describe video. So that's all it's called.
Okay, well I'll look that up. I would place it.
So there's still the video, but just the audio is replaced with people talking about
Yes.
it? Okay.
I'll try to look some of that up and find it. I don't usually go to porn sites. I don't want to get viruses on my computer. What's it called? Pornhub?
Yeah, Pornhub, yeah.
Pornhub, okay.
Oh my.
It's like the biggest porn site there is. Well, I mean, it's like the free ones. Like they steal all the stuff from everybody else.
Oh, okay.
This is like the big one. Like they actually like advertise in Time magazine and like try to pretend like, hey, this is normal. Everybody does it because they do.
Oh God.
Full holes. Full house parody, and I get to hear something.
All right, I'm gonna just send you a link. You might have to like clean your browser so you can play this.
He's a grown man. I don't think his wife cares if you watch the full house porn parody audiobook.
We found it. Hold on.
I sent you a link.
Okay, let me go to the link. There's fucking like anime on here.
Well, yeah, that was a weird thing because now that YouTube has cracked down on like kind of like people's rights being infringed upon, like putting up movies and TVs. There's now like a secret, like you can find all the television you want on like all these porn sites because like no one's gonna check to like bring them down there.
Why are you on Pornhub, honey? I was watching The Walking Dead. That's what I was doing.
Research. Research.
Well, let's watch a little bit of this.
Oh, fuck me.
Parody Scene 1 by Pornhub Originals. The video stars William Chase, Ryan McClain, and Seth
Full
Gamble.
holes.
It is 9 minutes.
It's a Full House parody.
Yeah.
Produced by woodrocket.com replaces the title across the
Whack it,
screen
San
with
Francisco.
a white woman in a cheap-looking red power suit sits next to it.
How the fuck would a blind person know any of this description?
I'm not sure who it's for. Maybe it's a thing. I don't know. Like, I have to assume this is for blind people, but who would click on it being blind, but I don't know. That dude in sneakers would figure it out.
It is twerking on the table between two empty coffee mugs.
It's just weird. Yeah, it's on the table.
The camera zooms in on the ass, focusing on its slow, thrust move.
How do you get off watching this? I'm curious. Is that like cum dripping from the fucking letters and shit?
It unzips the shirt. Curves its waxed ass, kissing her right hip. The camera zooms to show Handy rattling.
Is this technically better than the acting in porn? Or is this worse?
What?
Thank you for that.
Hey,
You're welcome, world.
What?
it's only fair that somebody else gets to watch porn over your shoulder too.
What?
I feel cheated. I only got the title screen. I didn't get any action.
I fast forwarded a little bit. I want to turn off.
I want to see how cheap that red blouse looked. That's what I want to see.
how many viruses I just picked up.
Oh, it's probably just spyware. We're being a pussy.
Oh man.
Really? Yeah, that's pretty weird. Described porn. Huh? I'm gonna have to do some audio rips.
Yeah, have that playing on your iPod on show.
I want to read. I want to read. Now I want to read porn, but I want to read it in like a real bland and technical way.
I don't think she was doing anything exciting with it. But I
She was
guess.
calling it pussy. She should have said
Okay.
her vagina. Her asshole was slightly darker. No, not asshole. Anus.
Her sphincter.
Just read like a depressed writer about to kill himself.
That I
Her
still-
anus was as dark as my soul.
Yeah, well, someone has to watch this and then write the script. Like, it's not like they're just repeating what the people are saying.
What kind of hell does that put you in when you're doing that for a living? What do you do? I
would actually prefer that to my job.
Well, like when the video starts out, it says like it's produced by Pornhub, and so they're rich as fuck. So it's probably like, you know, people out of college that are trying to get like, you know, like production jobs. Like, well, this is the only one I can get.
Starting at the bottom.
My multimedia degree isn't going anywhere, but Pornhub's hiring.
90,000 a year plus benefits.
Shit, I didn't get a pseudonym now.
I mean, if all you gotta do is sit in an air-conditioned room, watch porn, and read a script, that's not really the world's hardest job.
I think like a lot of comedians, they had a weird job. Well, I guess it's not a weird job, but like they did all the closed captioning, so they just sit there and watch movies all day, and then like write all the dialogue out, and that becomes the closed captioning for the hearing impaired.
Huh. I guess that works. I mean, yeah, somebody's got to do it. I still want to do the sad porn commentaries, though.
That's funny.
She realized now dropping out of high school was not the best course of action in her life.
After the end of this, Susie Slider was found floating in a pool. Enjoy your porn.
Oh, fuck up.
Her face made the motions of tears, but none of them would come. Her eye sockets were empty.
The only thing that didn't come that day was oh
about to say that too because she said the only tears didn't come to her face. Like, yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
I hope the wife's not listening.
Oh, we got two viewers.
She's probably laughing her ass off. So I'm not really worried. I didn't marry a Mormon. I don't think. I don't know.
Oh man.
Wow. Well, I think that'd be into the Full House porn.
Described porn.
Honey, if you're watching Full Holes right now,
I didn't even know they still.
Bookmark the good parts.
Oh shit.
Well, that's like they used to be. I mean, porn parodies used to be like they used to always exist, but now they're actually like have fairly like sufficient budgets or well produced, and like they have the trailers on YouTube because they make trailers that aren't explicit, and you're like, holy shit! I remember there's a Star Trek Next Generation one, and they have a legit like actor who plays Picard, and he looks just like Picard, but he's a legit actor, so he doesn't do any of the porn, but he does do the Jean-Luc Picard part.
Have you seen the Bob's Burger one? That's really
No.
They even do like the fucking Tina like hallucination or whatever. Like they do that in front of it because there's, like you said, the clean trailer on YouTube or whatever. Like the first like 10 minutes of it is just dialogue, and then them talking and stuff like that in the background set. And I'm like, this is actually it looks like real life Bob's Burgers. It seems really weird that it's a porn, but
Oh man.
either that or you can watch the cartoon porn.
Jackson, she's one of the ones watching, and she's scared for life. So,
No,
yeah.
it's scarred. You're reading it wrong. No.
It's one R, I think. That's scared. I think it have to be two for scarred.
Well, probably spell checked.
Oh, I can see it from here, so I thought you were just making
It works either way.
Yeah.
Might be both.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know that was going on. That's pretty dark. Described porn. Yep. See some audio in the future. Well, did you ever see the Dave Attell where he did the thing where he said, like, I saw the one he did with Adam Carolla and some other people where you can't see the porn, but you can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's
And
old
their reactions to it, and they're watching it and describing what's going on. I forget what that's called. But
Dave's old porn.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Say that again.
Dave's old porn.
What?
I think I've seen like most of the episodes of that because it was a funny show.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, as I remember.
Like he had a whole episode devoted to midgets, and I think he had like another one devoted to like afros and shit like that. Like it was a funny show. I like Dave Attell. He's really funny.
That's terrible. Speaking of porn, though, let's switch gears here. Nothing like a bunch of sweaty dudes at night talking about porn. Speaking of porn, the RNC convention was this. I don't know if anyone watched this. I got a little audio from it. I think we should listen to. This is from the Republican. I think it's from the RNC convention. It's not very clear. It's hard for me to understand.
Wenn die älteren Jahrgänge noch wanken werden
I
könnten,
was gonna guess that's what you're gonna play.
nicht unverschrieben und verfallen mit Leib und mit Seele.
I think he said "Make America Great Again." Yeah, a lot of energy in that crowd.
I can tell that's what you're doing as soon as you start playing. I'm like, that sounds like a Hitler rally.
Yeah. Well, it's very similar.
No, I know. I didn't say there wasn't parallels to it. I'm just saying, like, oh, okay. I thought you actually had something like the supposedly plagiarized, Ivana Trump or speech or whatever, Michelle Obama, or something that Trump said that was fucking stupid, or Chris Christie publicly having a witch trial for Hillary Clinton in the middle of everything, or something like that.
You're welcome, Keegan. I like this audience feedback. No, I mean, I could have found all that stuff and gone line for line on it because it would be interesting. And yes, that speech was plagiarized. It's been proven 1,000 times. But I just figured this summed it all up.
I liked what you did. I just kind of, so you started playing the audio clip, like, this is gonna be a Hitler rally.
They are the focus of evil in the modern world.
So they had their Nuremberg rally this week. And next week, the hippies are going to have theirs in Philadelphia. So,
Shit.
City of brotherly love.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm sure the Democratic convention, at least they'll have stars. I mean, they won't have, you'll probably have like actual people you've heard of, because this was a laundry list of weird. They had the guy from Duck Dynasty, the young guy. They had Scott Baio, big Republican supporter.
One of the Baldwins.
Yeah, did one of the Baldwins show?
Stephen
Baldwin. Yeah, he's like a born again Christian, so that makes sense.
Save, restore him or something. Yeah. So yeah, it was a real rogues gallery
of shit.
D-list actors, a bunch of strange ideas and beer all rolled into one, and a lot of empty seats. See, your beloved senator from Iowa, Ernst. Did you see her speech?
No, but every time there's a quote from her, I'm kind of like, nobody likes her in Iowa. I don't think so.
She was basically speaking to an empty room because she got bumped to the 11:30 p.m. slot. So everyone's good and drunk. They're all having desperate Republican sex in their hotel rooms. Bunch of elephants rubbing together. A lot of good costumes in the crowd, though. I just dive in anytime, Conlon. I know politics is your thing, but I had to mention this rally.
Oh, you got other people to talk? I
No,
can
there's a
stand off to the side.
There's a comedian that
Just as long as you don't do the normal thing where it's like you and Andrew are like, or Andrew tries to convince you how great Bernie is, and then you just like, well, Hillary's electable. Then we spend an hour in the same
No, I'm not
loop.
gonna do that. I was just gonna say there was a thing from Young Turks. They have a guy that has his own little YouTube thing.
Oh, there's a Young Turks thing too, but go ahead.
But no, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Anyway, the Jimmy Dore from that show, he kind of went around just asking people at the convention, like, would it be a good Trump presidency if he lowered unemployment to 5% or below, and he have the national debt, and I think it was drop 30,000 bombs in Arab countries and stuff like that. Everybody that he asked, at least 20 different people, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be a great presidency. And he was like, as soon as he got away from everybody, Obama's done all of this. That's already happened. Nobody seems to know. They're uninformed or whatever.
That's what I love. I always love about Obama, and when people argue, and not very many people, but sometimes people will say, well, our security and all this other stuff we got to do and deal with, and Obama's weak on this, weak on that. And I was like, do you know he's probably personally killed more people in the Middle East than Bush? Bush killed people like send the bombers, and they dropped hundreds of bombs and killed people. When Obama kills people, they bring him like a file with a picture and like, this guy, we need your authorization. And he's got that big feather pen out like, why? Kill him. He's personally killed more people, I think, than any other president. That's why, I do think that's funny when people are like, oh, he's soft on the people in the Middle East. It's like, well, ask the 200 guys he's dropped Hellfire missiles on how soft he is. This guy is a problem, but yeah. That's thank you, Keegan. Have to read that book sometime. But yeah, that's I always think that's funny when they do those kind of things, because people think like this country, like you think we were in the middle of another depression and all this, and Obama's compromised this, that, and the other, and you read the facts like that, it's like, oh. But it doesn't get through. It doesn't matter. He's still a Muslim terrorist, whatever, underground president. So. Because that's what people want to believe. But yeah, the Young Turks, America's favorite news source, Alex Jones, jumped on the stage where the Young Turks were at the RNC convention. And I don't know. It seemed to be going okay at first. Like, I think Cenk Younger was just annoyed with Alex Jones. And what did he do, Andrew? Do you remember?
He pulled out a shirt with Bill Clinton's picture on it and said rape underneath it.
Okay, yeah.
And then he was like, "You want to talk about rape? Donald Trump literally in a court file has a rape charge against him. Bill Clinton has nothing like that on his record. Donald Trump does, and then they just like got into it and supposedly like they got into a fight off camera or still on camera. So that's all. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was just like, yeah, it seems like somebody from right-wing news media being an asshole. So I didn't.
Well, Alex Jones just isn't right-wing. He's like off the planet. Like that's the number one conspiracy guy in the world. Doesn't do aliens. I heard him once. Somebody called and like, well, what about this whole Illuminati New World Order thing? And how about the extraterrestrials? He's like, I don't do aliens. That's not my thing. I think that's kind of silly. It's like, what have you been talking about? Aliens are like, that's stupid. It's like, oh, this is where I draw the line.
Yeah, they'll talk about what was that thing last year with like the military drills and shit, Jade Helm and shit like that. Was that what it was?
Yeah,
like
something about all the Walmarts that closed down and the military operations were.
You'll probably talk about that for like 5 hours and how it's legitimate. But as soon as you bring up extraterrestrials, no, that couldn't possibly happen. That's unscientifically proven. Jade Helm, that's gonna happen. That's,
yeah. He's I listen to a lot of Alex Jones because it's just because Art Bell's not on the air anymore, so it's just kind of a synthetic sugar substitute for the coolness that was Art Bell. But it's all conspiracy theories.
I saw a weird clip where like Eric Andre was filming something with Alex Jones.
I want you to sleep with my wife.
Was there some new conspiracy thing this week about Hillary Clinton like killing
Andrew?
Some aide or
there's a
some
conspiracy
shit?
thing every week.
No, I know. I'm just saying like there was a stupid fucking video I clicked on because usually I just click on shit about Hillary Clinton because I want to see more crap about her since I hate her so much. But usually it was some weird like narrated video by some just woman in her basement or something like that. Like Hillary Clinton this week, some aide was gonna testify, so she had him killed and met with the FBI and all this other shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't click on a conspiracy video. I thought
one woman against the world.
But yeah, it was yeah.
I mean, Hillary Clinton has. Well, her and her husband, I think, are in more conspiracy. I think they finally said that they think they killed Kennedy. It's come full circle.
Do they also kill Abraham Lincoln? Is that getting worked on too? Or
well, that's because they built the super collider in Texas, and Bill Clinton shut it down for reasons unknown. Besides the fact it was 9 times over budget. But yeah, it was really because they used the time travel machine to kill Kennedy and Lincoln, because the Clintons are actually responsible for the death of every American since 1790. I don't know what the cutoff is. Every American died.
It's like Quantum Leap. You can only go so far back and so far forward.
But when Hillary becomes the president and the Supreme Court at the same time, and burns our Constitution or whatever, then she's going to go back into time even further to like the Precambrian era, and she's going to kill all the dinosaurs too. So, I mean, it's Clintons are going to they're going to.
Then she'll go back as far a time, and then that's when she shoots God in the face.
Which is her whole reason for running for president.
Yes,
build the time machine to kill God.
Hey, I would actually vote for that.
Against vote for Jesus.
Well, though you remember like months and months back, like when the primaries had maybe been started for a couple of months, she announced for her campaign, "We will tell you everything we know about aliens if you elect me." So she's kind of almost in the "I'll build a time machine and go kill God" phase. She's getting close.
2016, a vote against God.
That's where we're going.
Oh man!
Because all evil in the universe traces back to the Clintons. It's a tangled web. But if you can do the research, and by do the research I mean watch crazy people on the internet, you will find all the answers.
My research is throwing a dart at a wall with possibilities on it and just claiming they're like, oh, that dart hit the Ferris wheel. That dart hit Kennedy. They killed Kennedy with a Ferris wheel back in 1955. So,
yep.
Oh man.
I was more shocked because I didn't realize. I know it's really expensive to run campaigns and stuff now, but I didn't really realize the actual number anymore, but she wanted to raise. I think she already raised like 600 million or something like that, but she wants to raise another 1.5 billion dollars to become the next president of the United States in the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, think of all the people you have to hire, and because I don't think anyone volunteer. I remember we used to do things at the local with the Democrats, but I don't think anything's voluntary anymore. I think it's all cash and carry.
Well, I think that most of it's just ads.
Yeah, but you got to pay a lot of people too.
You do. You got to pay a lot of people who went to law school.
Yeah, lawyers, the people that figure out how to win elections in the districts alone. Those guys are genius. I mean, it's a giant. They design giant computer simulations. Like, how can we win Missouri? And it's like 4 guys working with supercomputers to figure out how to add all these things together. And because they figured out and they used to do it with, just old fashioned graphs and maps, but now they do it with computers. That's why the district gerrymandering is getting so bizarre.
Yeah, because they got fine-tuned to such a point they know where people are like, oh yeah, this district is Republican. If we just totally tweak it this way and add a couple more houses and all this other shit. And yeah, it's. I think last week tonight did a thing about that, like maybe even a year ago, where they pay people to move to a plot of land in a trailer and just like stay there for the vote, and then they move them. And they just pay people to do that just so they can swing elections and get stuff passed as law and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I don't. It's a weird system. And with all the
why work for your constituents when you can just make shit up?
Yeah,
and hire mathematicians and figure shit out to get you reelected.
Yeah, you're not working for your constituents, obviously, by the state of the country, but yeah. You don't even have to pretend anymore.
I don't know. What does Mark think? He's wearing a Bernie Sanders shirt.
Me? No. I don't follow politics whatsoever.
Mark's just kind of a he's your average Trump guy.
I'm building walls everywhere.
That's your kind of typical blue collar Trump voter. He meets all the criteria. So
he's a NASCAR dad.
Yeah,
I saw some shit. He said, like I said, I don't follow politics much, man. I just think that guy's fucking a nutcase. He said something like he's cool with the blacks. And I'm like, the blacks were the blacks.
Yeah,
all right. Thanks, Trump.
He's also cool with the people he wants to wall out of the country. So
that's why in my show notes I always include when you're on. I was like, everyone and my black friend Mark. Everyone likes to be singled out and hyphenated, and
oh man.
Well, but he's got
a long time.
I'm cool with the blacks.
Yeah.
I don't mind working with the help. Oh man. Yeah, I don't. Whatever.
So, do you think we should wall off Alaska and make it a giant Supermax prison too?
They're making a third Escape from New York movie.
Oh man.
Yeah, I feel like you should go and find clips from the president from Escape from LA and just compare it to like the rhetoric going around right now.
I need to pray. Well, that's the thing. It's like when Trump did his whole pick-a-hick was, Donald Trump has no religious convictions at all. It's just, so he has to. It's weird that he's now the Republican nominee, and he's probably the closest they've come to someone who's purely an atheist. Not an atheist by philosophy, but just an atheist by ego. He's like, well, I'm bigger than God. It's weird that they're all behind this guy, but I mean, I always assume that some of it's really religious based. So he has Pence there to kind of be his religious buoy.
Well, I don't think either candidate picked very good vice president choices. Like even Hillary's is pretty lackluster and shitty. So,
do you know anything about this guy? I don't know anything about Tim Kaine other than he's
It was between him and Vilsack, and they're both safe conservative corporatist Democrats. So they just vote party wise. They don't have any actual like, oh, they're known for this or they're known for introducing this bill. They just exist basically. I think he speaks Spanish, so that's her attempt to gain the Hispanic vote from Trump, because he wants to wall them out. So that's.
I don't think she really had to work too hard to get the Hispanic vote from Trump when he's basically like, "You people are a problem." Again, more of that inclusive language.
Yeah.
But those were
half the Marine Corps looks at itself and like, "Are you talking to me?"
Yeah. But those were her safe picks if she thought, according to other people from their different like talk shows and shit like that, those are her picks if she already thought she had everything sewn up and won and shit like that. So they're basically people that don't have any excitement whatsoever for followers. Like nobody's gonna be like, "Oh man, we gotta vote for her now. She picked Kane." Like, nope.
Gonna pick Sanders? Was that ever in the offing? Or?
No. Like the best we could hope for that's she would have picked Warren, but that's nobody likes her now because she's seen as a sellout now. All of her backing.
Warren is a sellout?
Yeah, for backing Hillary. Like nobody for the progressives seems to like her much anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Which is sad because she does have a really good progressive history.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never thought of Elizabeth Warren as a sellout, but okay. But then again, I'm by no
people
means.
just really don't trust her because I guess she didn't, or obviously she didn't back Bernie from the get go, and she just threw a lot in with Hillary, even though she has that whole piece from years and years ago about her talking about Hillary's backing of the credit card bankruptcy bill and stuff like that, and proving that money does corrupt her and stuff like that. So people, I guess, figured from that evidence that why would she support somebody like that? So
well, because it's either that or Trump. I mean, we're in a two-party system here, so
yeah,
that's the problem. Idealism gets sucked out American politics, all your idealism gets sucked out the window as soon as you step on the field of the play.
Or if you're Bill Clinton, out of your pants.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Bernie Sanders was a horrible philanderer, too. I mean, everyone knows about Bernie and his wild sex parties. Hippie shit in the 60s. Come on. That guy was probably as busy as a three-peckered billy goat back in his prime. All that peace, love, and hope.
Oh, man.
No, sorry, I just had to throw that stupid Bill Clinton joke in there for no reason.
But... No, it's good. It's...
Yeah, someone's got to write Jay Leno's jokes for him.
Hey, I got a new job opportunity. I can do porn and that. Awesome.
I think the Bill Clinton with the rape thing is a little extreme, but yeah, the guy's kind of a degenerate. And I actually feel I don't hate Hillary Clinton for him. I feel sorry for Hillary Clinton that this guy is now following her around all the time, who just can't, keep his foot. Can't stop putting his foot in his mouth or doing something embarrassing, or I'm going to talk to the attorney general at an airport, nothing suspicious about it. Oh, what he's invested. It's like I said, I think we talked about this before, is it might be weird, like sabotage urges he has. It's like, my wife can't be better than me.
Well, I never really heard much about that whole meeting thing, besides obviously they met on the tarmac in the airplane. Like nobody ever really said, like, obviously he instigated it, but I mean, how did he even know she was on that plane, or did he have prior knowledge and shit? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, even if it was completely innocent, which I'm not willing to say it is because I don't know anything about it, it just looked bad. It was just bad form. It was something that did not need to be. Even if he happened to bump into her, he should have been like, oh, shit, let's get away from the cameras before the talk starts. But no, not only did he instigate it, but it's like, we're going to take pictures and we're going to shake hands and smile. It's like, oh, you're doing it wrong, and I know you're smarter politically than this, so I think you're trying to, I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's not helping. But he did used to be a president, and that comes with a healthy dose of ego. So
yeah, but both parties should have been a lot smarter.
Well, good luck, America.
Abandoning ship 2016. Sign off.
Yeah, last one out. Please turn off the lights.
Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, it sucks to have these choices.
Goodbye, America.
At the same time, yeah, there's. I mean, you guys are even closer to the border than us, so you can make it out first. You can tell us how the prospects are in Canada.
I don't know. I've never been there.
Oh, really?
No, I've actually never been to Canada.
You just been the UP? That was close enough.
I kind of thought it was something like people that along border states did a lot more often is actually visit their border country more than
it used to be easier before this.
Yeah, it's now you got to have like
shit.
passports and shit. Yeah, it used to be you just had to have a Michigan driver's license. But for a long time we don't have a very favorable dollar exchange with them. And everything's more expensive up there anyway by default. But then when you add the fact that our dollar is worthless up there now, it's really no reason to go there unless you just want to enjoy the slug. When you tell people you're an American, and like, okay, it's like, look, I didn't vote for the son of a bitch. Whatever your problem is. Or that was when Bush was president. You always had to run around. I didn't vote for him. God damn it! Just leave me alone. I'm just here to, get beat up in one of your nude strip club. Only stories I've ever heard of people going to.
Don't worry, I'm not going to shoot you.
Well, that's all the guys at work ever talked about going to Canada because they basically have fully nude strip clubs like right on the border where the chicks are completely nude. And everyone I've ever talked to, it always ends with, got the shit beat out of me. It's like, well, that sounds like a great time. I don't need to spend $500 in a strip club to get the shit beat out of me by some Canadian truck driver who's his girlfriend or whatever. I don't those are the only, but you got to remember that most of the people I'm talking to are their ideas of entertainment and expansion of their mind are pretty limited.
The ones that sell pills in the bathroom and do illicit drugs in
the fucking bathroom. Do it right in front of you.
I was trying to be nice.
Do it right in front of the bay boss. I gotta measure this shit out.
Got a fucking mini digital scale.
Right in front of your eyes while you're reading a book. Is like, can you not do that here? Then you get in trouble for reading a book.
You're not supposed to have that in here.
How dare you learn on our time? Do drugs like everybody else, freeloader.
About the guy grinding up painkillers on the inspection table. Don't worry about him. He's here every day. He is. It's a fucking anchor that holds the place down, I'm guessing.
You're having Bluetooth headphones. You got guys fucking up and down the line like an ice cream truck selling pills and shit.
You know how the ice cream man has that? What should be the pill man walk up?
Oh man.
Some Beastie Boys like in the 80s.
No, just get that one song, 106th Street.
What about Spoon Man by Soundgarden? Hill Man, I'm together with your plan. Save me.
Oh man.
Give me some Vicodin.
Yep. Pill Man.
Well, then you already have it with D12, purple pills.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they did sign the opioid law in at a federal level. That happened Saturday. So now the drug companies are going to have to come up with stuff more awful, addictive.
Opiates?
Than opiates. Or they're going to have to come up with new ones. I don't know what.
What can we do with bleach? That some toothless hillbilly in Iowa hasn't figured out.
That's when you put in Tylenol. That's what I want to know.
Oh.
When is liquor and weed not enough? Yeah, so the opioid law is signed in. So
what's the pretense of that law? Just harsher prescription.
Basically, if Florida can't open pain management clinics with some dude who's just out of the Gunga Din School of Medicine, applying Vicodin into people by 55-gallon drums. It's like, how illegal? Oh, shit. That's essentially what it is.
Well, I know they're already cracking down on overprescriptions and stuff like that. But
Yeah, you know that was happening when you hear about housewives overdosing on heroin.
Yeah, that's...
Why is the heroin going up? Is that back in style?
Yeah, are we going back to the 70s chic, heroin chic?
Is everyone just becoming Forrest Gump's wife? Just do heroin and get AIDS?
So thin.
There was a weird uptick in AIDS in Iowa for some reason. I can't remember why, but yeah.
Probably
Or HIV, not AIDS, but
this year,
probably because of heroin. Either
yeah, it was. It was the needles and stuff like that.
Yeah, because nobody's that riddle hasn't been unlocked yet. Who's not getting their shit together? Hey, this dude with sores all over his body. You want to shoot up? Sure, just jam that right into my. Let's get this over with.
Well, you know, us people in Iowa are really trusting. That's the problem. That's why.
Is that it? The open friendliness?
Oh
man. Oh, okay.
I trust you when you say you don't have HIV. Guy with sores all over his body. You don't have HIV.
Shit.
It's Midwestern courtesy. That's what it is.
Gauging, pleasing Midwesterners will always share needles with you.
Share needles, cook casseroles. You know,
It's okay. We got the same blood type.
Yeah.
We'll even tie you off.
They're now blood brothers.
Here's a pillow. Here's a pillow for when you nod off.
Yeah, don't nod off on concrete.
Oh man.
Americans heroin epidemic.
I duct tape some felt to the syringe, so when you leave it in your arm, it'll have a soft little touch on your forearm.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's fucked up.
Don't they have needle exchanges there? Have they started that yet?
No, I thought that was only a thing in Canada and like bigger cities where they've found out better.
I got it in Ann Arbor, so I figured.
Okay.
And Ann Arbor's like everywhere else in America.
Because I remember that came like a political thing where it was like in Baltimore or something where it was like, it's like you're giving drug users like free needles, like, oh, fuck that shit. And then automatically just all these diseases just skyrocketed after they took all those out. It's like, yeah, no, we're doing this for a reason. Like, we're not fucking condoning drug use, but we are like keeping the health in order.
Okay, I can give this guy $20 worth of needles a year. So trust me, folks, he's eventually going to OD and die on heroin, or he can get a long-term, debilitating, expensive illness like AIDS, which we're all going to pay for his treatment. So I'm in with the $20 worth of needles a year. Right? Sign me up for that. I'm not providing him with the heroin unless I can't keep my stupid job. Then I'm going to have to expand, and then I will provide him with heroin because that seems to be the only growth industry in America right now is drugs.
Yeah, to answer your question about if we have a needle exchange, I don't believe we do because we barely have anything in the state. We have Iowa City, which is supposedly like the most liberal city in Iowa, the biggest gay population. They have one gay bar, and there's like no public transportation in about any city except for Iowa City. Our buses don't even run, I think, on Sundays anymore, or if they do, it's like 2 or 3 hours. So our public services and our ability to access of anything is pretty limited.
Republican governor?
Now, before it was Democrat. Actually, no, Branstad was a Republican.
I feel like we've had more public options than we have had for a while, but it wasn't any because of any much government stuff. But
public transportation, I never got because that was just around here. That's just homeless people moving around. It's like it's a cool place to. It's an air-conditioned place to masturbate, other than the library.
There's this weird turn where like, so we have like our bus stops and they have like those little bench areas, but then they have like things over them, so it's like weatherproof, so like you don't have to stay in the rain waiting for your fucking bus.
Yeah.
And like multiple times in different areas, they have been destroyed by drunk drivers.
They just plow into them?
Yes.
Ash or what?
Fuck those buses.
Well, it's either that or road signs. People take out road signs pretty frequently too.
Yeah, I don't get that.
we don't like things on the side of our roads. We just want a road. That's
Fuck
it.
public transportation, freedom, America.
I thought you were gonna mention in like some cities. I think now they have like the climate controlled bus stops. So they have like a forced air unit in the top or whatever, where they just force cold air or warm air down onto people in the wintertime or
hell is that at?
There's like Iowa City has a couple.
I haven't seen it though.
Oh.
Definitely not in Detroit.
Do they have buses in Detroit? I mean, I know
They come through every once in a while.
I know they got the monorail.
You mean those mobile homeless shelters? Yes, they have them.
They come through every once and again.
When I think about buses in Detroit, it brings me back to that Clint Eastwood movie from the 70s called The Gauntlet. Remember when the bus through the people were just shooting at it? That's what I think of the Detroit bus, but I might be wrong.
I was actually is Briarwood, is that Ann Arbor or is that Ipsy?
That's Ann Arbor.
Okay. Because I was up there today and fucking every 15 minutes I'm just watching the bus and I'm like, that must be amazing. Fucking Detroit might be 2 hours waiting on a bus or some shit.
And those buses, did you notice like most of them maybe half capacity, if that?
Yeah.
It's just nobody.
Wow.
It's weird. They have nice buses around here. I mean, they come right over the library here and Kroger and everywhere else.
All equipped with cameras and shit.
Because that's like a field trip for people in our schools and elementaries here is to ride the public bus. And I think that's the stupidest fucking field trip I've ever heard.
The CAN bus stuff in Iowa City, it's pretty nice. It's all free too. They don't go that far, but like it's all free. The buses like come like once every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I have to park in the commuter lot and hop on a bus, and then that takes me to the interior of Iowa City. And then I go back there. But yeah.
Mean streets of Iowa City.
Oh, being all the alerts, yeah, that's pretty. All the alerts the college gives me.
I thought you said. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's sexual assault alerts all the time.
Oh, yeah, well, that's just college campus.
Yeah, that's just college.
That's just the devil's playground in college anymore.
Otherwise, you have to worry about drunk people and hippie douchebags. That's pretty much Iowa City.
We don't have to worry about hippie douchebags. That's just going to make you angry.
Yeah, they're more likely the receptacles of violence rather than the delivery method.
I just meant more like hippie douchebags, as in they're all kind of hanging out, like having a philosophical discussion with a dog nobody owns on a park bench, and they ask you for money. that kind of bothered. Not really like.
Whose dog is this? He's nobody's dog, man. He's his own dog.
You laugh, but that's happened at least 3 different times. Like 3 different groups of people with 3 different dogs. Like it's obviously nobody's dog. It doesn't have a collar. It's just wandering around and standing near these people.
My favorite is the people that go there and like try to say, like, to preach shit to college students, and like tell them how like gays are going to hell and just yelling it in the quad. It's like, and they're just waiting for people to like come on by. It's like, what are you about? Like, tell me more. Like nobody ever goes. Like, and who has that time to waste to go do that?
Because they're out there with the Bible and like a bullhorn.
Yeah.
Like, you are all sinners.
Yes.
Come to me and I will give you the Lord's message.
Exactly.
Lord Jesus Christ has told me to come here and say this to you. You, sir. Yeah, and everyone's just like, nobody's.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Lord. I'm pretty sure it was some guy named.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know who. That goes on at U of M, too.
It's like they have to be getting paid to do that, because like who just like, hey, my free time, I'm gonna go gay bash at the local liberal college.
Yeah, I don't know who volunteers for that to go down to.
I think there's plenty of crazy people that would actually do that for free. I mean, as much
No,
as I
I'm
think that might be
pretty sure, but like sometimes it's like 3 or 5 people sitting out there yelling.
Yeah, right in the quad. Just let me tell you about the sin of gay marriage and God for America. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, who's doing this?
Nathan's making that up, but that's literally verbatim what people say.
I would just go out there.
Strangers
I would just go out there with the same message, but something totally irrelevant and nonsensical. The taco is the devil. God didn't invent tacos. Who would curve a shell like that or something? Just something fucking weird.
No, because then you encourage them, and then there's a shouting match of nonsense.
Yeah, because if you think telling these guys to fuck off, oh, that's like fuel. You've just thrown rocket fuel on the. It's just if you ignore them, you know, that's all you can do.
Well, that's like people like that, where it's like I don't think they're really like, you know, like I'm doing this for God and this saving mankind. Like, no, they just want attention.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nobody's picking up people. Well, they were doing that in Chicago. They're doing that downtown Chicago.
I had that happen to me the last time I went to Chicago. It was just fucking groups of people on the corner with signs and bullhorn. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
They had Muslims doing shit like that. Christians on one corner, Muslims on the other.
Oh,
I think
no
there was
shit.
some Hare Krishnas down the way, and I was like, oh yeah, stay away from this guy.
I thought it was a big thing now for especially Black Lives Matter protesters, like block off like highway, expressway entrances and exits, and kind of like.
I've heard of that, yeah.
But I don't know what kind of. I thought it was more or less like maybe down south more than anything else, but I didn't know if it was in Chicago and stuff too.
I don't know. I know it's happened in California.
I don't know how you block off a highway in Chicago when it's already at a standstill.
People would be like, why are these people just walking in between my car? No, I don't want you to wash my window. Oh, I guess they're not here for that. Okay. Yeah.
Is there an accident?
Roll down the window. What are you selling? No.
What the fuck is happening up there?
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't know. Speaking of weirdness in public, we never talked about the Pokemon Go thing that's sweeping the nation.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, I'm hearing all these reports like people are crashing into people on the freeways and disrupting public places. I don't know. Are these reports true? Are they overstated?
Well, I mean, they're blown out of proportion because it's a thing to report on right now.
Okay. So
because it's
wagoning.
Yeah, well, because it's like, okay, if we can take any story and associate with Pokemon, that's really going to make our numbers jump up because people are interested in Pokemon again.
Yeah.
Because like that, there's already been 2 bodies discovered by people playing Pokemon.
Now that I could see, that sounded kind of interesting and maybe even truthful because doesn't it just send you to places like I'm looking around for these things?
Yeah, because it's using your Google Maps and you like go find the Pokemon out in a Google map somewhere. This is actually based on the company made this. Google got this company and they made this game called Ingress, and this is like a version of that, but just with Pokemon. And what it's secretly doing is it's like mapping walking data for Google.
Right? Yeah, I knew there's something nefarious.
Because like, you know, Google doesn't have like attaching cameras to people's heads and having them like find walking paths so that you can find a way to have other people do that for you, but you just give them a game and then they'll do that for you.
Wow.
Yeah, but that isn't that kind of forced data that might not be realistic in a real life scenario.
Yeah, but you can they probably have some algorithm where it'll like create some average of a path and it's like, well, we think this path technically exists.
The same thing with
3 bodies here.
Well, that and all the people that supposedly have been robbed, but that's more of common sense. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go in this area of town at dark after dark with nobody watching.
But
me.
Compton has the Pikachu.
Now, the stuff I heard that was sad, and I didn't know whether to believe it or not, but it's probably true, knowing people in this fucked up country, were the people running around Arlington National Cemetery.
Yeah, they've banned that because they're
Pokemon and people at the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah, they had a what's the name of the company? Shit, I can't remember. It's like Nichan or something like that. They had to contact the companies. Like, the Holocaust Museum had to contact companies like, please take us off. please take our museum off your as not a Pokemon gym, so people stop coming here to play Pokemon Go.
Knocking shit over, fucking trying to find Pokemon.
Well, we went to the Holocaust Museum here in Michigan.
Okay.
Took Grayson there, and yeah, it's a pretty somber place. Like, it's you learn a lot.
Yeah.
About the history of the Jews and all that stuff and what led up to this. But yeah, that's not a place where I would ever think to do anything other than just be kind of quiet and just read and walk through. But yeah, I guess there are people like running around like, come here, you know, or whatever they're doing with their phones.
Well, I haven't played the game, but like you don't have to be that animated to play the game.
Right.
Well, see, I think there's so one of the things they have is they do like augmented reality stuff. So it's like you hold your camera phone up and they have like, then they'll project the Pokemon on wherever you're holding your camera, and then you try to throw a ball at it and catch it.
Right.
So that's pretty much the extent of the game. But you don't have to do that. Like there's like in this area, there'll be like an area and it'll send out like a little circle, and like you just have to be in that circle, and you can turn that augmented reality thing off, and it's like you're playing the game and like you're just pretending to catch the Pokemon. So you don't have to be all animated and shit. You can play it.
Walk around a lot.
Well, you have to go because they have them in different places. So if you want to catch different Pokemon, you actually have to go to different places.
Oh, okay, but you're not like
you're gonna climb walls and shit.
No.
I climb Mount Everest for this Pikachu.
Oh.
And like I believe you don't have to be in like an exact spot. There's just like a certain like half-mile radius you just have to be in or something.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, I figured a lot of this stuff was overstated. Like I don't but I could see the people like walking around at Arlington like, oh, I got one.
No, because I heard something where they set up like a lot of churches and public areas as like gyms or big.
Yeah, there's some people that they're actually going to that company at Niantic. That's the name of the company. They're going to it and they want to be Pokemon gyms because like I guess like
or somewhere you have to come in and buy something.
Buy stuff, right?
Well, no, they're like it was a Red Robin. They were giving Pokemon players discounts to come in and eat at Red Robin, and then you could catch a Pokemon there.
Oh, okay.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
My wife gets really pissed off every time she sees a group of people wandering around with a cell phone out. She just thinks they're playing Pokemon Go. It's like, what are they doing? They're just walking. Quit yelling at them. Leave them alone.
At least they're doing something.
Yeah, at least they're outside where that big scary glowing thing in the sky is. Children, this is the sun. Gives life to plants.
It bombards you with vitamin A in the most violent way possible.
You are being saturated with the most dangerous form of radiation. Would kill you except for the fact you have skin. So go out into the sun, but don't point the camera from your phone directly into it. So yeah, I figured a lot of that stuff was overstated, but I don't know anything about those kind of games.
I don't know. There's a weird story here where I thought it was going to lead into like a Pokemon. Some kids playing Pokemon Go got hit by a car. Like figured that was going to happen. I mean, that has happened. But like, and then it turned out like the story was like the kids were playing hostage, and then they were hit by a car in the middle of rural Iowa, and I was like, "The fuck is hot? What the fuck are kids doing? I thought they were just playing Pokemon. No, they're playing a game called Hostage, and they get hit by a car. What the fuck's going on?" I didn't follow up on it. I just know a kid got
hostage game is.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like we played tag.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
It was escaping or what? What was he doing? That's fucked up.
And I think the kid was. I think two of them were into the hospital, and one of them may have died. I know they were in critical condition. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, well, I got hit by a car doing dumb shit before too, so I can, as I said, not recently, but yeah, we had Walnut Wars, and I just said, I'm gonna put a shield on the front of my bike because you know those big, thick ass cardboard boxes that your refrigerators come in. It's like, well, we weren't just having Walnut Wars. It's like, well, we got to be mobile. So we had like baskets, and we were throwing walnuts at each other on the back of a bike. Like as you're on a bike, you're throwing walnuts at the other guy. I was like, I'm gonna put a shield on mine so I can duck down and not get hit in the head with a walnut. And I ducked down and I got hit by a car.
Gladiator War.
Oh, yeah, way too stupid shit with fire and fire.
Okay, you want to know what the game Hostage is?
Yes.
Okay, you can play by yourself. I don't see how the fuck you're supposed to do that with what this game description is. You play in teams. You blindfold one person from each team, drive them around, drop them off somewhere, and using only street signs and natural locations, they have to describe where they're at so their team can pick them up first. That's Hostage.
This sounds like a bad way to get shot by cops. People in blindfolds, dropping them off. It's like, oh yeah, this isn't going to draw any suspicion at all.
Because the article starts off with, my daughter, did this after a graduation party, and she did it with friends, and I guess you could play it solo. I'm like, how the fuck do you drive yourself around in a blindfold and try and figure out where the fuck you are? Is that the game when you're solo? Like, I don't get it.
I remember hearing like terrible stories about like what some prank that Grandpa did, and like when he was in college in Butte, Montana, where like they shot one of their friends like fake. They ran up to a guy in the middle of the road, pretended to shoot him, but they had like a blank in the gun or something, shoved him in the back of a trunk, and then just drove away.
Wow.
That sounds like something you do in Montana.
Either you get blind drunk or you fake a murder. Like either one.
That's pretty. Yeah, people do crazy shit. I can see that.
So Grandpa did that? Yeah, he's bored.
They didn't have like Nintendo and shit back then.
What are they gonna do? It's like, quick, get on the telegraph. Somebody's been murdered.
And I don't know if that was pre or post World War II, so that could have like changed things. Like, well, we have a different sense of humor now.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we've seen some pretty crazy shit, so it takes a lot to get a rise out of people. I gotta hear that story. That sounds interesting.
Did everybody watch Top Secret? I assume.
We're gonna jump to that, or you want to talk about Star Trek first?
Oh, that's true.
I don't know what you want to do first. Talk about Top Secret, Mark?
Flip a coin. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about Top Secret, because I know you were kind of tired when you came here. I don't know how you're going to feel about the next 3 hours. So.
I'm trying to hold it together. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we all watched the Top Secret, which was a movie. I for me, it was funny. There were parts of it that were funny, but it was also. Let's talk about, when did this come out? This was 1984.
I think around then. Check.
Not this computer thing here.
I thought it was like 82, maybe it's 84.
Because I think it was like a couple years before Top Gun. So
84.
Yeah, 84. Well, yeah, this one's weird for me because I thought I'd seen everything that Abrams and the Zuckers have done, and this one like eluded me somehow. Because I never seen it like at the library, like we never rented it or anything, and like I don't think I've even seen it on sale on DVD before, like at a Best Buy. Like I never came across this before.
Yeah, this was a weird movie. It starred a very young Val Kilmer.
Yeah, this is his first movie.
Fresh out of Juilliard. He sang all the songs in this.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect him to be a old school song and dance man, but he totally was.
Yeah. I mean, the skeet surfing song was hilarious.
Yeah, that's the only song I liked out of the whole movie. The skeet surfing song.
Yeah, the other songs like they weren't necessarily funny. They just kind of like sounded like songs from the 50s. Or
trying to parody a lot of things at once.
Yeah.
Parody the Elvis movies from the 50s.
Yeah.
Kind of a parody of the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Their popularity and those types of movies. And then it was set in the Cold War, but it was also a parody of World War II.
Yeah.
Because all the East Germans in this movie were wearing Nazi uniforms, except they didn't have insignias on them.
And they were weirdly fascinated with taking out subs.
Yes, and they had this strange plot to when the NATO subs passed through the Straits of Gibraltar, we will strike with our secret clamping torpedo weapon.
Which I still never figured out after I watched the movie. Like, what was their end goal for taking out all the subs? Like, how is that supposed to help them take over the world?
I mean, it's a comedy, so you get to write it off as like, it doesn't have to make sense. It would be nice if it did, but
I like how all the signs had like the overpronounced like I, where it's like 2 E's or 3 E's. It, like all the signs.
Yeah, but it was funny. Didn't have that raw humor of Airplane, But then again, the story seemed kind of random to me. It was just like to move from like set piece to set piece to set piece.
Well, it starts out like it's a spy thing, and then you cut to him like he's doing this concert in Germany, and then he's in prison, and then there's a whole resistance movement.
There's a French resistance movement, and with a bunch of stereotypically French people, which that was kind of funny. And then the
Blue Lagoon ripped off.
Yeah, the mini Blue Lagoon.
Yeah. I like that her boobs lit up in the one scene.
Yeah, what was like? They said like she said her name or something like that, and he's like, "What's that mean?" It's like one whose bosoms defy gravity or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Hillary. What does Hillary mean? Like I don't get the part that I laughed at the most is either was the skeet surfing in the beginning, but also when his manager got the anal impactor or whatever.
Anal intruder.
Oh, the anal intruder, and he's just like smiling like ear to ear everything he puts on there, and then it's like, oh yeah, your manager's dead. We found this up his ass, his hotel room or whatever.
It took like 20 men to wipe the smile off his face. There's just an exploded banana on the end of it.
Because he didn't know that East Germany used like a 220
220
power.
Yeah, it's also really funny. Like when he first gets in there, he just it looks like he was supposed to be like trying to get him out of there. He just sits down and he's like, "So I tried everything I could. I just can't get my wife to climax." It's like just out of nowhere. It's like, oh,
that
we're talking.
The movie was the random conversations that come in and out.
That's what made it. I know you said you didn't really get it when I talked to you earlier. You didn't get it, but I thought it was funny because of that stuff like that. Like it was just random shit. Like at the beginning with a guy's, like I told you, he's on top of the train. He's like bust through the bridge and shit.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, it was just funny. Or when he was talking to the blind guy at the beginning, the
guy selling the gag gifts and stuff.
He was a spy and he had all these weird gag,
like little clown gadgets and shit.
Dog poo.
No, that wasn't his dog poo. That was just real.
That was just dog shit. Or that weird scene where they go in the bookstore and it's all done in reverse.
Yeah, I know. I didn't notice that halfway through the scene. I'm like, what the fuck?
Let me see that. And he just throws it up. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was a good movie. Some of the better comedy I've seen from the 80s. Oh man,
it's definitely better than. Oh fuck! What was the other one I watched? I can't. The Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte.
Oh, 48 Hours.
Yeah,
Andrew didn't like 48 Hours.
Oh really?
Yeah, horribly racist. Not funny and not cool.
Yeah, that was the 80s. That's when men could be men.
Black people call other black people the N-word out of rage. Apparently. I've never seen that in a movie. I don't think ever, except for like now, like the Django and shit like that, like more recent stuff. But like that and the Confederate bar in the middle of San Francisco just didn't jive with me. So,
well, yeah, that was that again. That movie made San Francisco look like a scary place instead of a place you can't afford to live. That was the 80s for sure.
I actually watched 2 movies about San Francisco that day. This 48 Hours, and I watched Pursuit of Happiness. There's a different perspective. Yeah, different perspective on San Francisco over both those movies. I'm like, where's the Confederate bar? Why isn't Will Smith there? And why isn't this one-man cop army running around destroying everything? Why?
That's the only city in America where you could take a shot at a cop with a .357 and bond out in 8 hours.
That was a funny part in Top Secret too. He's like, he said something like, "I've been waiting to get out of here all day." It's like, "You've been here 45 minutes." He's like, "Oh
no," he had the chalk lines on the wall, and he thought it was years or something or days. And it's like, "I've been here 20 minutes." He had 20 chalk lines on the wall.
What the hell are you talking about?
Like when he tries to escape through the chute and it just slides him right back into that. That was pretty funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
who did the movie? I didn't. This was a good one, man. I like this.
Abrams Zucker. David
These are the
Zucker.
airplane guys and the police and the Naked Gun guys.
Okay. Good shit.
Which have done both those movies on this feature before. So this is kind of the one in between that like we didn't really have we didn't really know much about.
Yeah.
But still like a lot of good gags and stuff like that.
Cow and stuff.
It's weird, like that's featured like on the cover. And it's like maybe like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's really in the movie besides that part that's really a big prominent feature throughout the whole thing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But just like if you looked at that cover, you'd think there'd be like tons of cow shit in this movie. There just really isn't.
I'd rather
I like when they have the forced perspective shot and you think like the phone's like really far away. The guy walks up to it and it's just a giant phone.
Oh yeah. Some of that stuff was there was some interesting. I mean, you could tell it had that airplane pedigree to it.
Yeah. I thought the concert was weird because there's almost like a sincerity where it's like, oh, they're just like doing a normal concert. And there's a part where he's like attempting to kill himself constantly, and that's just a part of the routine. And like, you know, the doo-wop guy's got to stop him.
I expected to like try to pull out a revolver and shoot something at some point, but he never did that.
I just like when he sticks his head in the oven.
I like the signs the girls were holding up in the audience when he was performing in East Germany, and they had his name spelled wrong and stuff.
Yeah, because it was the same thing on all the signs where it had eyes. It said it had 2 E's or whatever, so it was like Meek, or whatever. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird play on the German language in this because they like when the cow was going to cut the power to the fence, it just basically said it in English, but it looked like it was German because it said like, what did it say, like der electric fencing? Oh, this is the power we cut.
The gay shuffling hotel. I don't know if you caught that. It was GEY, like it looked. That had to be something that they strategically put. It just looked like gay shuffling.
Oh, okay.
Or the part where where it looks like they're pulling off from the train station, but the fucking cart is filled.
Oh yeah,
truck is pulling off.
It's just a train station, just like a mobile trolley. And then they had the attack dogs were wrestling the guy to the ground.
It's like, where's he taking them?
And then there was
not taking them anywhere.
The poodle was one of the attack dogs.
Oh, fucking killed the guy for a bag of doggy biscuits and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I've never seen Val Kilmer in a movie like that, so I just thought that
he
was
didn't
funny.
do a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, I mean his first 2 movies were both comedies, and then he was like a serious actor. Like after he did Top Gun, like everything was super serious.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only
After Top Gun, he kind of did The Doors, like wasn't it? Like pretty much that was.
I'm not sure. He did. He's a really good actor. I don't know what happened to him, but
He's still doing stuff.
he does some weird stuff though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Top Secret. Real Genius was his next one. I remember that one.
Yeah.
And Top Gun, and then The Murders in the Rue Morgue. Willow.
Oh yeah, Willow.
Billy the Kid. The Doors was in '91. And then Thunderheart. I don't know what that one is.
That's the one where it's like he's at a native reservation and like he's like an FBI agent and they're like trying to solve a murder, but like they're on, native land, so it's like becomes all hard and shit.
I thought you were gonna say they're on peyote the whole time. Trying to solve a murder. That'd be an interesting movie.
Well, he was in Tombstone.
Yeah. And we talked about it. He played Doc Holliday.
That's right. Yeah.
No, I always like that part where he's like he's dying of tuberculosis. I guess that's what consumption is. And like,
I thought it was
cancer. He's super pale face, and he's like about ready to like duel a guy, and he just looks like he's about to fall dead. And he's like, "Say when." And like the guy kind of like jerks his arm, and he just shoots him dead, and just walks away.
Yeah, my favorite movie of his is The Salton Sea.
Yeah.
Never seen that one.
That's a really good movie.
What's it about?
Basically about meth in the where are they at? The Inland Empire. They're out in California somewhere.
Yeah.
The Salton Sea is a place in California. It's like a dry lake bed or something.
Yeah, it's like basically poison because like something they diverted a lake somewhere and then some disaster happened and then basically it just got filled up with salt and stuff and like all the fish died there and nobody can live there anymore.
Yeah.
So there's just abandoned houses and stuff like that. There's a mini documentary about it that's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
He also played a really weird. He was a bad guy and had a real weird role in MacGruber.
I don't think I've ever seen MacGruber. I've heard a lot about it, but
Yeah.
You should at least to watch it one time.
It was a parody movie, right?
Yeah.
It's like an SNL movie, basically.
Yeah, it started off as an SNL skit that was a parody of MacGyver, and then they made a movie out of it.
oh, okay. Is that what
But like it's super bombed.
And then I know he's good in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang too.
Yep.
That's a good movie. Other than that, I don't think he's really in a lot anymore. He's in random stuff, but not like a ton.
Yeah, he just kind of pops. He does a lot of supporting roles. He's not really a star of much stuff anymore.
I don't know. It's because he gained weight as part of it.
Yeah, he gains and loses weights pretty crazily. So
wonder what that indicates.
I mean, he's older, but yeah.
The lack of consistency. See, I consistently gain weight. Never lose it. So that means I'm growing.
Oh, I've had a standstill for the last few years of my life, man.
How old are you?
29. I'll be 30 this year, man.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, thanks.
Hang on.
Metabolism goes away.
Either.
I never had one, so that doesn't matter to me.
I've been fat all my life. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, what do you think? This movie's yay or nay?
I think it's like a hidden gem. I wouldn't say it's a classic that holds up, which is usually what this feature is about. But I think it's a hidden gem. I think a lot of the humor is kind of like on the darker side.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it kind of still holds up. Where it's just like really unexpected. It's like, well, yeah, like when he's trying to kill himself. Like some of the whole anal sex jokes and stuff is like that was in the mid '80s. Like they thought that was just queer stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you get that past the censors?
I'll definitely give it a yay.
Yeah, I like I said, I'd never seen it. It wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Definitely not. With a name like Top Secret, I'm like, oh man, I'm watching it and I'm like 10 minutes in and I'm like, did I click the right shit?
Yeah.
And I remember like people were like talk about it and I kept confusing it because there was a Leslie Nielsen movie called Spy Hard and I kept thinking that was the movie they were talking about. But apparently Spy Hard's terrible. So
yeah, it is. I tried watching it.
I heard about it, never watched it. Usually when I see those like 15% things come up on Rotten, like I don't normally go with the crowd, but when only 10% of the people think it's marginal, maybe I should, invest 2 hours of my life.
Oh shit.
So that means you don't want to come see Nerve with me in theaters this week, Nathan?
What's Nerve?
The new horrible, like I can't tell if it's a weird romantic comedy horror movie or what the fuck it is. It's Dave Franco. And like the whole pretext is it's a future app where people dare people for money to do stuff and they film it and broadcast it live on pretty much like YouTube or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, oh, it starts off with her kissing Dave Franco for $10 or whatever, and then ends with them finding the death in a Coliseum, and they can't get out of it because their identities have been stolen, their bank accounts have been drained. And it all started with a night of fun for driving to the city on a motorcycle and kissing a stranger and running out naked from a dress shop and then it goes into gladiator style death match. And it's like, how the fuck did it turn into this? This doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I'm gonna give that a hard no.
Yeah, that's when I saw the trailer the first time. I was like, okay, for like maybe the first half, like this might be a interesting dollar rental on a date night with me and my wife. And then I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I would never watch this. Like,
report back on that one.
Should we talk about Star Trek? I think we should talk about it before I forget about it.
Yes, let's talk about Star Trek Beyond. This is the latest entry, directed by Justin Lin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fast and the Furious.
Yep.
Director of that, which this movie pretty much follows that template.
Yeah, pretty much.
It doesn't. It doesn't. As far as the action goes, it's not a whole. Well, as far as the visual spectacle goes, it doesn't let off a whole. That's the poster I got when seeing the movie. They gave those away for free.
Okay.
So I put that in a frame and put it on the wall. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was. This is the latest entry in the. What do they call this? The Abrams verse.
Yeah, they're just calling it. It's not officially that. It's just become that now.
Yeah. So this is the younger crew and cast on the original mission, but it's in an alternate universe, so they can pretty much do whatever they want to.
Yeah.
They wiped out almost all the Vulcans. That didn't happen in the Prime universe. But the last one, because they've done 3 of these. They did the Star Trek that introduced it, and they did Star Trek Into Darkness, which was entertaining, but almost laden by its own story. Like it.
Well, it's because it was okay, and then when they're like, oh no, they're trying to make Wrath of Khan, but their version of it's like, don't do that.
Yeah. So it wasn't.
And it created a very comical moment. And this is where they had that kind of role reversal where it's like, well, this time Kirk's gonna die, and then Spock's gonna yell no. It's like, well, that's gonna be embarrassing. It's like, no, it's gonna be cool. Like, no, it's embarrassing.
No, it worked. Good effort.
Yeah.
But didn't they create their own villain for this one, or is that a villain that's been used in something?
I think that's their own.
Yeah, this is a unique villain because
well, Simon Pegg wrote this,
yeah,
or at least he's one of the writers on it. So I kind of get the feeling that it was taken away from him a bit, maybe.
I'm not sure. I don't know the backstory to that. But yeah,
I mean, this is kind of like the survival episode of Star Trek, kind of like, you know, when Kirk gets put on that planet with the lizard guy, and he's like,
Gorn.
Yeah,
yeah,
and he has to he doesn't have any technology. He just has to use his wits to try to outsmart the enemy, who's stronger and faster than him, and all that.
Yeah, this is definitely, I would say, a very much return to form for Star Trek to the '60s era. This has a lot of that vibe to it, and look. This is, you know, me and Grayson went and saw this yesterday, and he was not really enthusiastic before going, because he's like, "Is this like that other Star Trek where Kirk died and they brought him back?" I said, "Yeah, it's the same group, but he's like, I didn't really like that one." So, but we watched it.
Well, also the trailers look like shit.
Yeah, because didn't Simon Pegg actually say something publicly about they really made this movie look bad with that trailer or something?
Yeah,
like that?
and he also said don't watch any of the new trailers because they're going to ruin the story.
Oh, yeah.
Said that too.
Yeah. Did you see the Simon Pegg message at the beginning of the movie?
No.
Yeah, where they were like, "Thank you." He was like, "Thank you for coming to see this movie," and they had all the set people walking behind him, doing stuff. He's like, "Thank you for watching this movie as we intended you to see it in the theater. You know, we hope you enjoy it, and thanks for coming out." And it was kind of, and then also after that, it kind of meshed into a message about piracy and because I don't know if you noticed from the credits on this movie, this was I looked it up. This movie was about 80% funded from China.
Yeah, that's what Alibaba is. That's China.
Alibaba and Wuhan were the 2 biggest funders of this movie.
Well, they had an Asian guy directing it, so you know.
Well, yeah. I thought Justin Lin was Korean.
Yeah, I just said Asian. That just encompasses it all, right?
Yeah, that's all of that was an interesting message. And then I noticed, when that thing came up, it said Alibaba Pictures. I was like, oh shit, this is Chinese backed this movie. And then they had another company that was obviously Chinese. It's like, wow. So I came home and looked it up. It's like, yeah, pretty much mostly funded by the Chinese. But our movies are huge over there because it used to be we could only release 10 a year. So because their government, is a police state, so they would try to pick the best ones they think would work the most and fund those. But now they've blown it up to have to do like 25 or 30 there. So.
Plus, there's like 2 billion people there, so that's a pretty large audience.
Yeah. Yeah, but when they're paying 50 cents a ticket, it's.
Hey, they make that Warcraft movie bombed here, but it made like $145 million in 3 days there. So it's like that's gonna get a sequel. Yeah.
Oh God.
Huh.
I didn't tell you the people that I saw that went to go see Warcraft. It was the same. Oh, I think it was the same day I went to go see something else. I can't remember what the movie was. So apparently, it wasn't that good. But it was right the same day Warcraft came out, and the only people in line for it was two 50-year-old ladies that were like, "Oh, it's freezing in here. We really want to see orcs, though. This is cool. This is gonna be awesome." And it's like, okay, I guess there's an audience for every movie. Like I wouldn't have pegged these two. But,
fans?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Anyway, well, this movie, despite or because of the interesting backstory on its funding this is a really good movie, and I enjoyed a lot of there was a lot of little details in here. Because did you notice when they went back to the past, they were wearing the Archer era Enterprise uniforms? Yeah, that they
and they even mentioned like the Makos, which was like their special forces and Enterprise.
Right. So they do show kind of a line of connection to that.
Well, in the ship looked kind of like
very similar to the original Enterprise.
Yeah,
the NX series Enterprise.
I thought the movie was okay.
Oh, I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
I thought the villain didn't really work at all.
Well, yeah. See, they almost wasted an Idris Elba in this one.
Well, yeah, they pull the whole they did the whole Interstellar thing. It was like, holy shit, is that like an A-list actor? And then like the third act reveal.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was good, but like I didn't like his ideology was basically he's gonna prove Darwin right. Like, why was he doing this? Like, oh, because he's a crazy military guy. Like, that's why he's doing that, which is almost insulting.
Well, the thing is he was. It almost made sense there because I always wondered all the way through, like, what's his motivation? It can't be this that he doesn't want the Federation to push out to the further into the frontier. There's got to be something else going on here. But yeah, he was not only just deranged because of that. He was deranged because he felt abandoned. He was deranged because he'd been using weird alien anti-aging technology for like 150 years or something. So yeah, there was a lot of things wrong with that guy.
I mean, I get that. Well, also like the weird thing is like, his little like army.
Yeah.
Those were just, I believe those were just drones. Those weren't actually people. So there was like 3 dudes on that planet and whatever else people he crash landed on there. And then those were all drones. Like even like the dudes walking around. Because they say like the only thing on the planet was like mining equipment and drones.
Yeah, drone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty, parts of the story were a little thin. It wasn't like solid all the way through. But it did have kind of a satisfying climax. And I did like that the station was so huge that these fucking ships just fly through it.
Yeah.
Great velocity.
That space station was really fucking cool.
Yeah, well, the scale of these movies in the Abrams Star Trek universe is, the scale of everything is much larger. And
yeah.
Technology is, that's the future. Like, that's really crazy future stuff.
And where the ships like go through there and they can just pop up from underneath the water.
The water is sustained somehow and the ships come through them. And the McCoy Spock stuff was funny.
Yeah, that was probably the best character development in the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because the
like you gave your girlfriend a piece of radioactive jewelry. It's like, well, no, you can trace the isotopes. Like, you gave your girlfriend a tracking device. Well, that wasn't what I intended.
Yeah, that was they did a lot of good character development in this, except for Kirk, because the Chris Pine Kirk has always been kind of static.
Yeah.
Ways.
Well, I mean, like all his character developments in the first movie, where it's like, you know, well, his dad died, and he's like has a chip on his shoulder and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But here it's just like, well, he's bored.
Well, no, it's just admiral slot. Like already? What is this guy? 30? 30-year-old admiral? Okay.
Well, no, I mean, they explained that. I mean, the way his character developed in the limited part in the movie it did, where it's just there's actually a movie coming out about this where it's like they just send one guy off into space, and then the effects of feeling isolated or feeling like you're not in contact with yourself or your own life, like what that does to a human being over time, and what it does to their emotionally. Because that's, I mean, basically, obviously, the villain is what Kirk could have become later on. Unfortunately, you don't really see that till the very end of the movie. But at the same time, it's almost kind of like a polar opposite, like what could have happened to him if he was stranded out somewhere, or he was on the same trajectory his character was before everything got turned around and he found his new purpose in life or whatever. So, I mean, I didn't really.
I found my purpose in life. The status quo.
No, I just mean that he's renewed his purpose to being a captain and exploring.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, yeah, the whole first part of the movie is kind of having like, okay, they're all going to get broken up, but then they get broken up by this event. And then, like, everybody has a different reason to all come back together, because, like, Spock has that picture of, like, the old crew sitting together, and he's like, oh, well, maybe this whole teamwork thing's going to work out. And then Kirk's like, yeah, sitting on my ass would kind of suck.
No, I mean, I'm with you, Common, where I just didn't like the villain in the final part, like, was a lot more fleshed out.
Well,
the villain, I didn't think he was that good.
You need to have, like the thing about villains is they need to have like interesting ideologies that you can like at least somewhat agree with, even if you're opposed to it. It's like, well, I have to, because I mean, we only get this, Nathan, because we've probably read the Nemesis games. Like the bad guy in that is like he kills billions of people. Why? And then he explains why. It's like, okay, he's still a horrible person, but he's also not wrong.
Follow his logic. Even though it doesn't, it's not going to work out very well in the long run. I can see where he's going.
Where it's like here, you just need, or even like a character like the Joker. It's like, what's his ideology? Well, he's just crazy. But like the thing about the Joker that's almost enticing is like he's almost the freest person in the world because he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
My favorite like evil character ideology and weirdness would be Bane from the Nolan. It's like, oh, this guy's totally nuts. Oh, wait a minute. Now this all makes perfect sense. You don't even have to be crazy for this to make sense. That's how the world works. But yeah, those movie bad guys come along once in a lifetime. So.
Yeah, I just wish they had one here.
Yeah,
I wish it worked better, because then there's a lot of the movie falls flat because the villain wasn't working for me. It seemed like everybody has their moments, but it didn't seem like there was much character development. It was like, how did I get through this whole movie? And there was no character development except for McCoy and Spock.
Yeah. Well, then we had Sulu and his boyfriend and their kid. Like that was the side. Like, oh.
Well, they're trying to honor George Takei, and I guess he was like, yeah, I was Gene Roddenberry was a good friend. Sulu wasn't gay.
Well, this movie, another thing with this movie is it was just shrouded in sadness because Leonard Nimoy died.
Yeah,
early on in the filming, and then Anton
Yelchin.
died when his Jeep ran over him or crushed him or pinned him or something, and he's the guy who played Chekhov. Who they had a lot more Chekhov in this than in the first two, so that was too bad the guy died. But
and then there's that, and then like there's weird stuff where there's like I like the Jayla character, and then but there's the weird thing where it's like they had that guy who like killed her father, and then like they kind of have like a fight, and then that dude just disappears. There's never any resolution or anything like that.
To be fair, she ran away.
Yeah.
Did she kill him by kicking him off the top of that thing or not?
I doubt
she
it.
just got away from him.
I think she just ran away.
It wasn't very far off the ground.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure with that where that was going.
I feel like there's just like some deleted scene somewhere, and there's like, we gotta cut this for time. And then probably like the best moment in the movie was kind of ruined by the trailer, where it's like, all right, we need to disrupt the enemy's communication. It's like, all right, we can send radio frequencies. All right. So we need to send something loud out there. It's like, how are we going to sabotage the enemy's communication? It's like, what if we play Sabotage by Beastie Boys?
I like how the characters react to that, because like Bones is piloting that weird alien craft. He's like, is this classical music? And Spock's like,
I think it is. Which is a dumb joke, but still a good dumb joke.
Yeah, well, from their point of view, that music would be like, what, 200 years old?
Yeah.
So yeah, that would.
Well, I mean, they always did that in like the normal Star Trek. Is just everyone's like wine connoisseurs and they enjoy classical music. That way, you never have to involve any kind of modernity from like from the contemporary, from where the writer's perspective to where they're writing from the future.
Well, it's like Scotty made some comment because she was playing another song. Wasn't she playing "Fight the Power"?
Yeah, "Fight the Power."
He's like, yeah, I normally don't choose music because it disrupts my thinking or something like that. But so I guess like music is like not something that everyone listens to in the future.
Yeah,
could be some thought like that, but I don't know. This was a good fun movie.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I still like, even though I had low expectations, I still had kind of my misgivings about it. But I think it's still an entertaining movie. So
yeah. One of the better ones. I mean, this has been a bleak summer for movies. So
yeah,
this is a kind of a bright spot.
I forgot the new Jason Bourne movie came out this week too, but I didn't go.
No, not this week. Next week.
Oh, okay, next week.
That looked like it might be decent.
I like the first one.
You like the first Jason Bourne?
Yeah, I did. I don't know why.
I hated that one. I
found that to be enjoyable.
I got to the end of the movie, I thought it was cool, and then they get to the end of it, and it's like, well, that was kind of stupid. Because it like at the end of it, just kind of it gets really simplistic and weird, and like he just like hops away in a boat with his girlfriend, and like I was like, well, that was kind of sudden. I didn't really like it till like Paul Greengrass came in with the Supremacy, and that's when I was like, all right, this is pretty cool.
I mean, they've all been good. I never watched the side one they did with Jeremy Renner.
It's all right.
I haven't seen it. There's no reason why. I just haven't got around to it. But I remember I always found the first one to be enjoyable. I don't know if I'll go to the theater and see this one. I might. I'm not sure.
I'm still just kind of I'm probably gonna just wait for Suicide Squad. That's pretty much the next movie I'll probably see in theaters.
Yeah. Well, if it gets good ratings, I'll see it too.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't planning on seeing the Star Trek based on my last one I watched, but when I saw it was like Thursday's like 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, like, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thought.
But at the same metric, Ghostbusters somehow is 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
I haven't seen that one.
I wouldn't.
Nor do I intend to, or speak its name on the internet, because people have been banned and have been careers have been ruined, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I want to like enjoy that movie, so I'm not gonna go watch it in theaters because I don't want to go there and waste 2 hours and have to have an opinion. I just want to like happen upon it.
Yeah, that's probably the best way with all the weirdness that surrounded it and surrounds it.
So like 7 or 8 years from now when it's on.
No, but it's when it gets on HBO, it's just like click it, watch it. I did that finally. I watched Dope yesterday.
Okay.
It's a really fucking good movie. I saw the trailer for it. It's like, this looks kind of like a quirky movie, but it kind of was basically, what is this, just like Nerds in the Hood? Because is that what this movie is going to be? And so I kind of dismissed it like that. And then I watched it. It's like, this is a really fucking good movie.
That's on Netflix right now.
Called Dope?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about like it's now, but like it's these it's like these 3 kids and like they're in high school in Inglewood, and like they have a real 90s hip hop, like that's their aesthetic. Like they're really into 90s hip hop. So like they dress like they're from the 90s. They listen to music from the 90s. They have a fucking ska punk band because there's no music like being taught at the school, but they have all this band equipment. So they just go into the music room and like they have a punk band and like the songs they play are really good. Yeah, it's just a really good movie.
See, I thought it was like a period movie because the main character has a flat top haircut.
Yeah, because he's into the 90s, so he just has a flat top and stuff like that. And
I've never seen
that. Yeah.
I think it's on Amazon now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix too. You can watch. It's on streaming right now. Right. But I wasn't expecting that to be as good as it was.
It didn't seem like much. I've seen the trailers when it came out. It didn't seem like it was whatever.
Well, yeah, I guess it seemed like it's a young black youth and he's gonna get involved in drugs because that's what happens in these movies, and that's what happens. But but they play with it. They play with your expectations. Like this is how you think it's gonna be, and it's not gonna be that way. And it's really good.
Dope. Check it out.
Yeah. And I think the guy who directed it, like, I think he's doing like the Black Panther movie or something like that.
The Black Panther, like
from Captain
Marvel.
America?
Yeah, the Marvel one. I think it. Oh no, they got the guy. I have to look it up. No, because the guy who did Creed is doing that. I can't remember who this director is. He did some movie. He also did a movie called The Wood, which I'm assuming is about Inglewood.
Sounds Japanese.
Oh, he's directing the Flash movie.
I don't understand.
He's directing the Flash movie, so he's in the DC universe.
Which one is it you cut out?
The Flash. He's directing the Flash movie.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And A$AP Rocky's in it. So.
Okay. Who's that?
He's a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't know either.
Speaking of movies they otherwise never usually have expectations or kind of wanted to see, have you watched any of your homework bag?
Oh no.
Play you for a while now.
No, I need to watch The Raid 2. I think that's pretty much the only thing I'm probably gonna end up watching out of that bag.
Watch other things. You still have time. School hasn't started.
I watched all straight. I spent all Wednesday watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna try to watch some more of that tomorrow.
And now BoJack Horseman's out, season 3. So
I know what my wife's doing right now. That she's not watching this shit. She's watching BoJack Horseman on Netflix. So.
I can't say that I blame her.
That's one of those shows where I can't not watch the opening credit sequence.
That's the animated joint with the horse that talks and shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Everyone Loves Raymond as a horse.
Is that pretty good? I kind of wanted to check it out the first time I saw something.
Well, it's okay. Like, it's a really weird cartoon show because when you first watch it, it's going to be like a lot of dumb jokes and a lot of sight gags and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they'll be like, you get halfway through the season, there's kind of like a dark, serious turn, and like it kind of recontextualizes the entire show.
Yeah.
But it's still goofy and weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of subtext in that show, and the first 3 episodes you don't really. You're like, why does everyone rave about this? And then, yeah, like he said, it takes a dark turn, and it puts everything into a new perspective. It's like, am I supposed to laugh at that, or what? It's so weird. A lot of sexual weird, and there's a lot of bizarre sexual tension stuff in it and stuff. These people, because it's animated animals and people, and there's all kinds of sex stuff. It's like, the fuck. But it's pretty good.
Check it out.
I like in season 2 when Diane like becomes just a worthless layabout, and they're watching the show he was on, Horsing Around, and like they're talking about a character on the show, and they're like, "Yeah, Todd's a piece of shit." And they're like, "Yeah, Todd, sit on a sharp dick, you piece of shit."
Two clips that I only seen maybe one or two different. I don't know if you would call them. I kind of got like the Frisky Dingo kind of vibe from that.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
it's like if you've seen or liked Rick and Morty, they're kind of like similar kind of shows where they're like just crazy animated stuff, but then they have like weird serious stuff underneath.
Yeah, Rick and Morty's the best for that. It's like you think this is just goofy, and a lot of it is, but then there's, what was the darkest thing on Rick and Morty was they reveal it's like that's where we buried ourselves because we're actually from the alternate universe and we killed our real selves, and it's like that's where I'm buried right there. They have conversations. They go to the the planet of sex or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's all pretty good. Well, do we have anything else for this week?
No, we better get everybody to sleep before it becomes 3 a.m.
Want to hear any more from the RNC convention?
No, you're doing the Hitler salute wrong, Mark. I'm like, come on.
Wenn die älteren Jahrgänge noch danken werden könnten, die Jugend ist uns verschrieben und verfallen mit Leib und mit Seele.
And I'm studying German, so technically I should know what he's saying, but I don't.
Didn't he speak a weird kind of German? There we go. There's the truth.
Did you see that? Like,
well, no, I don't think it was weird. There's a new show on Netflix, and I think it's a German show. I think it's called like History X or like German History X or something like that, and it's like neo-Nazis in Germany, and it's a show on Netflix, and it's in German. It's kind of about like when the wall came down and stuff like that, because I think it takes place in East Germany, and like I was kind of listening to the show, and I was like, it's like, all right, let's see what happens when I go from the German I learned in my class to like how people actually speak German, and if I'm going to understand it all. I was like, oh no, I'm like understanding like half this shit. I know what people are talking about. I guess it's, the German I learned in my class is more or less conversational German.
I thought Hitler spoke in a kind of an unusual way, though.
Well, didn't you say something
like a high German that they use for formalized stuff, and then a regular German, or
I don't know. It's just like every other country where it's like people speak a different German in the South and the North and all that stuff. Because there's one of my teachers, like she's from Germany, and she's like, it's like, hey, if you say this in the North, it's totally cool. They know what you're talking about. And it's like, if you say this in the South, they think you're gay.
Or in the South, you say, hey, y'all, but in the North in Iowa, like, hey, guys, what's up?
What were you going to ask me, Colin? I kind of interrupted you.
Well, didn't you had like that, you took some class and like they talked about Hitler and they took it out of the book, but you said something like where Hitler based a lot of his like gestures and oration based on like magicians and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, Hitler learned how to speak. He based a lot of his things on what, there were magicians and hypnotists, because when you focus in on him closely with the camera and you watch him speak, he does this really strange stuff where it makes these huge gestures and it almost looks like prayer. And the reason you did that was, number one, it made you speak louder. He wanted to make strong strong points, you would do that. But also, they didn't really project his image up behind him or anything. They didn't have that technology, so he looked really animated, and he made these gestures that would these really huge gestures that made people feel like he was a really powerful speaker and all that. But yeah, that was a very, very different time like that. I don't think his act would carry over very well today. Fact checked a lot of the things he was saying. But then again, when the time he came to power, a loaf of bread cost half a week's wages and stuff. So that country was ripe for anything to, whoever came out of the depths of hell and said, "Well, I'll definitely make your life better. Yes, make America great again." And that's what they did. Germany, they were actually in a bad spot because of the Depression.
Oh, you see, there was a Reddit post where it was like, unfortunate event at the Republican convention, they had Donald Trump doing the Hitler salute, and then a Fox News person doing the Hitler salute at the same time.
Yeah, is that Laura Ingram's or whatever? She actually did a Hitler salute. Now, of course, they're going to deny it, but I don't know what the hell else she was doing. I'll show it to
Yeah, because she's like throwing to the screen that has Trump on it, and she like does this.
Yes. and doesn't do it just quickly, like, oh, I'm pointing or something. Like, holds her hand up and kind of turn. I mean, wow, watch this. It didn't surprise me, but people were like, "Oh my God, did you hear that woman did a Hitler salute at the RNC rally?" I was like, well,
"Nope."
That doesn't surprise me one bit. I don't know if I'm getting her name right.
Just put Hitler.
Oh shit.
This is that's a 2-minute. Okay, we don't need to listen to her bullshit. Just watch this.
Oh.
Now, what the fuck is she doing? Let's just blow this up. I know we can't see this on the podcast. Now, you've never seen this before. Didn't hear anything about it.
Is there a descriptive video?
We're describing it now.
Did she forget where she was? It's like she forgot. She's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
That's what we do in secret. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
And what she's saying at the same time is, the next president of the United States, God bless you and God bless the United States of America, which is, we always associate that with. Yeah, it's exactly what.
What?
She got so carried away, she forgot. It's like, oh, this isn't the secret meeting. This isn't our clan meeting. But yeah, when you're in that moment like she was, she's like, God bless you and God bless America. And then she, oh
yeah, shit. It was like, hey, Mom.
Because there's nothing else in our culture, in our society, where you ever stick your right arm out straight and go like that. The Nazis have ruined that for everyone. There's no place in America. I mean, of all the things that people do, it's like, well, you guys, Conlon, you guys salute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like this. Like, nobody sticks their right
I've
arm
never
out
seen that
straight for any other reason anymore. Maybe before Hitler, they did. Because, people put swastikas on things and they'll tell you, well, that's just a Tibetan symbol. I said, well, not in American, European culture, it's not. So if you're in Tibet, maybe that works. So, yeah, the Nazis ruined a lot of stuff. They had spiffy uniforms, all that. It's all out the window now. But, yeah, you don't ever do that right arm salute and then say, God bless America and God bless our no, that really freaks people out.
Wow. Yeah, somebody fucked up.
Yeah, I think Conlon was right. She was like, oh, we're not at the secret meeting. Not the secret Squirrel Club meeting where we can...
That's not the right flag. God damn it.
This one's televised. Fuck.
But it was... Because if it had happened at the Democrats or something, it's, again, they're just wrong place, wrong time. Because, like, if Bernie Sanders did something like that, people might be like, that's odd, but I somehow don't think the Jewish guy from Vermont is doing a Hitler salute. But when Laura Ingram's a right-wing commentator from the news does this at the Republican rally, it's like, oh shit, yeah, okay, wow, yeah, totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was a classic one.
Somebody fucked up.
Yeah, somebody.
She forgot.
Somebody. She's hanging upside down. Someone in a leather mask is beating her with a whip.
Oh shit! Yeah, she exposed some shit.
It was weird. Why did they have? Is that the only place that would let them host it? Was Cleveland? Have you ever look up the voter rolls in Cleveland? I think there's like 4 people in the city of Cleveland who ever voted for a Republican.
I don't. Isn't that one of like the battleground states? Like basically, whoever wins Ohio is going to win this election. It's like Ohio and Florida is like that's the way to the White House.
Like Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania.
Those are the giant ones, but Cleveland's not the place for that. I mean,
maybe it's because they have a championship there now. So
it could be.
It's like the Olympics. Cities put bids for it or something. Or
you know what they called Cleveland, don't you?
But Cleveland?
No, they call it Detroit without the glamour.
Well, they did a whole documentary about like Cleveland winning the championship. It was called Believeland. And it's basically about how like terrible the sports teams in Cleveland has been for such a long time, and that the cities have nothing to believe in for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Because like the city went bankrupt in like the 80s or something.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching it. So yeah, the only thing I know about Cleveland is whatever Drew Carey did.
No, there's a journalist in Rolling Stone that did like a little YouTube interview with somebody, and he was talking about, it was like, oh, it's funny that we're in Cleveland. There's thousands of journalists on this street or whatever, and the only thing anybody's paying attention to is this guy in a fucking Hillary mask saying that she's a crook. And nobody's paying attention to all the protesters protesting how they can't afford their mortgages and how the city's going bankrupt. Nobody's covering that. They're covering the fucking fat guy in the Hillary mask parading around fucking yelling at the top of his lungs. Like, yeah, that's news, but you don't want to talk about the mortgage crisis or poor people. Like,
yeah, well, that just depresses everyone.
Oh yeah.
Where's the Democratic National Convention going to be?
Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, that's right. You already told me that.
The city of.
So it's like just pick these two states right next to each other. It's the battleground states.
Should have competing conventions across town in the same city.
They should have just did it in Cincinnati and just pissed off all of Ohio.
Oh, Cincinnati.
Make Ohio fight each other.
Maybe they're just competing for which convention had the worst city this year. Like, well, Cleveland is a rundown piece of shit, but Philadelphia has some of the worst people in the United States. I don't know which one's worse.
The only thing I know about from Philadelphia is watching that Parking Wars show. Like, oh my God, how can there not be 5,000 homicides a day there? The way people act about parking.
Well, I know, but
all I know about Philadelphia is in the opening sequence of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The only thing I know about Philadelphia is that's the only town in the United States the hitchhiking robot can't make it through.
Oh, is that where he got?
Yeah, that's where he got dismantled and murdered.
Okay, I blame that on Baltimore. I apologize, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, you're great again. Yeah, because Hitchbot got decapitated.
That robot made it through Baltimore. It did not make it through Philadelphia. That's pretty sad.
What's pretty sad is it could make it all the way across Canada and Europe.
But could he make it past the east coast of the United States?
Well, he was a Tupac fan. What were you gonna do?
He was wearing Crips colors. They should have known better. Everybody knows Philadelphia's last.
That's the only conflict I know between East and West. It's Tupac and Biggie.
That's current.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Yeah, after we talked about that, I read about the legacy of Hitchbot. It seemed like such a sweet little thing, but yeah, it was made to be a victim.
As all sex robots will be.
Made it sound like it was made for pleasuring people for its rides or something. It's like,
well, it wasn't. It didn't start out that way.
There's a great episode of Comedy Bang Bang that Dana Carvey was on, and I did not expect like it to be like a great episode. I was like, I like Dana Carvey, but I figured he's just gonna do like wacky voices the whole time, and he does. But there's a point where he's like talking about like, and they had this like fake character who's supposed to be a sex robot dog, and they end up talking about like just like fucking and sucking, like that's the phrase they use, and then Dana Carvey's like, I always say it's more suck and fuck, and it's more like it's a mode of transportation, like just a hell bent Nick Nolte just sucking and fucking his way across South Florida.
Sucking and fucking way across South Florida. Oh. Sounds like a nightmare.
How'd you get here? Just sucking and fucking way across the I-80.
Nobody tells that story.
It's like it's not even a sexual thing. It's just a mode of transportation.
Yeah, there's no pleasure in the act. It's just something you got to do to get from point A to point B.
well, just like that one. I think I told you about this. That stupid Thanksgiving movie where it's like a talking turkey that kills people. Like he learned. No, seriously, it starts off with him like apparently this turkey's been alive for like since the Pilgrims landed, and like that's why people started celebrating Thanksgiving, but it was actually Thanksgiving or whatever. Like the movie starts off with the turkey talking, chasing a woman in Pilgrim outfit with a knife, cutting her shirt open to reveal her double D tits bouncing. He's like, "Nice tits, bitch," and then he kills her. Then all these fucking college students are drinking out in the woods on a camping trip like every other horror movie cliche ever. And so the turkey loses them, and so he needs
movie. I can't believe it went to cliches so quickly. After the nice we would jump into
the teenagers get away from the turkey, and the turkey needs a ride to the teenagers that killed him. And so he hitchhikes. And the turkey gets in the car, and the guy's like, ass, grass, or gas, or whatever. And the turkey is like, okay, I'll blow you, or whatever. And then he starts to fake blow him, and then he stabs him to death and drives the car, or whatever. And it's like, I thought that was like a popular term, the ass, gas, or grass for hitchhiking. But I mean, that was just something made up for that movie.
No, that's like bumper stickers. Yeah.
Nobody rides for free.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we better end this before.
All right. Well, for the American Greed Factory podcast, this is Nathan.
This is Conlon.
Andrew.
And Mark.
Goodbye, America.